them and stuff, and then we go from there.
Cool.
Hello, world. Welcome back. This is the Healing Chefs podcast. I am Ryan, aka Crownsin or Crownsin's Corner on Instagram. But before I introduce my guests for the day, I do want to bring up something real quick. Like we're going to talk about mental health, but recently in my life and a lot of people's lives, there's a lot of people really hurting, and some people have, checked out early, unfortunately. And I know, like, if you don't know the Arizona community with the industry or anything, there's a pretty big beef that's going on right now in between two parties. Okay. And I'm just calling for the shit to stop because it's only hurting people's mental health. And I know both sides. I've heard both sides. I don't really care to hear anymore. Just can we stop this? Can we clean slate? It's just like stop the shit. No one wants to hurt anybody. No one wants to do any of that stuff. So let's kind of clear the slate and start from there. Okay. So because I can't see any more people getting hurt like this, or like the mental health thing is just not good. We just need to start over and just start over. All right. I love you all. Okay. So with that, sorry to bring everybody down a little bit, but we're going to bring it back up. Today's guests, we have Jack and Alex of the Cannaplanet. If you know them on Instagram, it's what was it? Cannaplanetarian. Man, I'm always trying to like spell this stuff out, and I'm just like, why do I wait till I'm high to do all of this stuff? Cannaplanetarian.
And I've changed my name on Instagram like 100 times.
Yeah.
So,
but and then Jack makes hash, or
yep.
I almost said does hash. Like, bro, the banana OG's fire, y'all. But yeah, so welcome Cannaplanet. Thank you, Alex and Jack, for showing up. I'm really excited because like I told you guys before we started, I didn't get to try a lot of your stuff or any of your stuff yet because of silly car issues, if you guys have been keeping track of me. But we're going to get that taken care of. But we got some stuff to try today. I already tried the banana OG, and if you can't tell, I'm lit. So we're going to go ahead, though. Cannabis Journey is our first segment, and it's all about like how you found cannabis, your personal journey with it, and where you're at with it now. So,
jacked.
It's like we're out in nature, man. All right, sorry. So you said, Jack, you want to go ahead and go first and tell us?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I think started off in high school just from being like obviously kind of interested in all of it. But I think you actually mentioned it. Like I had severe ADD and I took a lot of medicine, and it was kind of like the one thing that made me feel somewhat normal, I guess.
Make sure you lean into this.
Oh, that's my bad. Yeah,
it's all right. That's a weird setup too, a little bit. But yeah.
No, but I took a lot of medicine for ADD, and weed was kind of like the one thing that made me feel normal, I guess.
Okay.
And then went through high school, college. It was always kind of there. And then really, really enjoyed it, actually, throughout most of my life. And but when I went to school, I studied exercise science, and I was a personal trainer for a couple of years. But then COVID happened, and everything kind of just like went to a stop.
So, yeah, you can't really personal train through the Zoom, really. I guess you could.
They do now. I just wasn't
really.
Like, yeah, I just wasn't really.
I don't know.
I don't think I have the personality for that one.
Yeah, I'm an army guy. I need someone to like be in my face about it. But
yeah.
That's why I have a mirror.
No, but so when COVID happened, I literally took a job as like a security guard, front desk person over at local joint.
Local joint. Shout out
Yep.
local joint. Uh, got a little weird history there. I worked there for like a day or so. I've I'm sorry, the industry, but I've been bouncing around. Sorry, go ahead. So
No,
you were security over there.
worked the floor, worked inventory manager, and then eventually ended up working over at the grow side.
Okay.
And yeah, that's at the time they had Eric Mazio.
Yep,
Yep,
yeah.
phenomenal dude.
Shout out Hash Paddler. Guys,
So he worked on over there,
I
and
don't know if we can talk. Well, he's got something going on, but
yeah, no.
if you know, you know. If you
Um,
don't, you will.
so he kind of got me started with everything, and then
I've heard that a lot with him. That's I like to hear the community influence when people helping instead of hindering and gatekeeping. I love that. Sorry.
no, it's a little bit of both. Unfortunately, in this industry, like people bring everyone kind of in there, and people want to teach stuff. There's obviously stuff that we kind of like guard as hash makers or growers or whatever.
I mean, yeah, it's your life's work.
Yeah, it's your life's work. So, and you earned it. So, but no, I got to work with him. That was phenomenal. And then he left to go do his own thing with Canamo at the time. Got to work with Hunter. Hunter makes hash.
Yeah.
Incredible dude. Still super close with him. Yeah, phenomenal hash maker. By the way, just want to say.
Sorry, I'll be just see me hitting these like a DJ over here with all the name dropping. We love it though.
No.
And guys, and all these people that are getting called out right now, like tap in. Like
these are all good people.
We'll
by the way.
we'll put you on the podcast and stuff. It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So got to work with him for a long time, and then just unfortunately how the industry is, people don't always see eye to eye. Not specifically him and I, him and management. So
It happens.
eventually, I took over the lab just by myself, and yeah, just kind of got to tune in my own work, and then eventually got to meet Alex, and when I started working with organic flower, and it was just a completely different game.
Yeah, that's something that we should tap into here in a little bit is the organic stuff, which is really dope. All right, batter up.
So funny thing about meeting Jack was I walked into Jack's lab, and Jack and I actually went to high school together, freshman year at Notre Dame Prep School.
Notre Dame Prep School. Where is that?
It's at like Bell Road and Thompson Peak Parkway, like right over there by the ice den.
Yeah, okay. I went to Goldwater, dog. Deer Valley Middle School. Like, yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I ended up going to Chaparral after that, but
yeah.
Jack and I actually went way back. I walked into the lab, and the first day I walked into the lab, Jack's like, Alex Smith. I'm like, oh Jesus, what the fuck? Yeah, pretty much.
We're getting the band back together.
Sorry. You're good. Yeah, I mean, I was the best friend of like the high school drug dealer. So my buddy was the guy who was dealing to everybody. Like I always saw the pot. I never touched it. I never got into it until I was about 18. And my dad had actually passed away from cancer. And I was like, okay, now I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole, so to speak. Went down the rabbit hole and came out the other end 17 years later, still growing, still doing it all. And just
How did you start like smoking? Like was it flower or
flower?
Yeah.
In a bubbler, a 2-chamber bubbler in the back of a Toyota. What was those like 4-door off-road ones? Yeah, I mean, I can still picture it like the first time I smoked right now.
I don't even know. Toyota. Sorry.
It was like a 4Runner, like the back of like a 4Runner.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's vivid.
Yeah, long time ago, and then just I was riding motorcycles. It went medical in Arizona. I crashed my motorcycle. I ended up being one of the first guys to get a med card. Did the whole like at home growing rights, caregiver rights, and then this was when Ponderosa was just open. Downtown dispensary in Tucson had just opened, and I actually approached Mo and Yuri, and I was like, "Hey, I can go raise money. Like, I'm 22 at the time.
Okay.
Like, hey, I can go raise money. I can go build out a grow. Like, I can do all this shit.
That's what's up, doc.
And like, Had no idea what I was in for.
It doesn't matter what age, dog. Just fucking
Just go for it.
The
It
hustle.
doesn't. It doesn't.
If the hustle's there, it don't matter.
It took 3 years the first time, but the hustle was definitely there. And then it's just been like 5 other projects in between then and now. Just you don't really get attached to projects.
What I mean, so you're talking like growing caregiver and stuff. What made you want to grow? Is like because you were hurt and you wanted to grow for yourself, or you saw the opportunity? Because then you were like, yeah, I can go find the money and get a grow going and stuff like that. Was it always? I'm not trying. Man, that kind of sounds kind of rough. I'm like, I'm not trying to say, was it all about the money? Like, I'm not trying to say that, but I mean, you know, so like money also is about our lives, and we got to do that stuff to be able to achieve some of the other things that we want to do in life. So it's not always bad to be about the money.
I'd been growing up to that point, so like,
okay.
I was already enjoying growing.
Okay.
It did come to a point where it was like, you know what you're doing, like you've grown at your house, you've like, I had done everything in a step-by-step procedure almost.
Okay.
And so the next logical step was like, you're either going to get stuck growing as a caregiver or you have to move up and play like the big leagues. And it just so happened that the big leagues had just started. Like nobody knew what they were doing. Nobody had experience building out a grow facility. We were literally
10 years from now, they're going to say the same thing about us right now.
Exactly.
So
I ended up building out the first grow in City of Phoenix. Like the City of Phoenix actually came out and walked through it with their entire department because they had no idea what they were looking at. They didn't even know what zone.
They still don't.
No, they don't. The certificate of occupancy, like they had no idea what to give us. And that was when they finally came up with that F rating or whatever it was. I was in tears. Like,
that's ridiculous.
The City of Phoenix came out and they wanted to shut the whole thing down, and like they were going to get into lawsuits with the state. Like they had no idea what they were doing, and
they're just ignorant. And they just didn't. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Government.
But it's been a lot of business and a lot of like I did that. I did Project Scepter. I did the grow for House Exotics.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, I've done quite a bit. I just have never been vocal about it until now.
Well, and I'm glad you're here and stuff, and I appreciate all that. And like we were saying before we started, you know, there's ups and downs that we've all been through in the industry. But I want to reiterate, when you're on this podcast, we're clean slate. We're not about no drama or anything like that. If there's issues, you can handle them outside of here. But right now, we're talking about what's going on now and how we're helping people and stuff like that. I just don't like want anybody to like start like talking stuff about anybody that I have as a guest or anything like that, because I respect these guys and we're doing good things. What made you want to, Jack? What made you like go, I want to become a hash maker?
I mean, so I lived at these apartments, and basically my neighbor downstairs had he was like one of the early patients for like med cards and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's when he introduced me to like extracts. I had some buddies that were also blasting in their backyards and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I talked about that at one point in time. Man,
but you know, I got a little bit older and like I started worrying about
blowing yourself up, others up,
health,
a house,
just basic shit. Honestly, like when all those articles started popping up about like popcorn lung and stuff like that, like it at least got me thinking about it.
Vaping and everything.
So I just started doing some research, and I was like, all right, so there's way better options out there, but like no one at the time really made the pens. And so I started kind of learning about just dabbing in general, and yeah, I mean, I've been dabbing since like, you know, the metal nails with the blow torches and all sorts of stuff like that.
I remember back when we were like, if it's not titanium, it's not cool.
Yeah, and you basically got it red hot, and then as soon as it cooled down, like even just like stopped turning glowing or whatever, you're like, all right, time
to rip it.
Yeah, no, and
700,000 degrees.
You know, it was great and all, but like
was it?
No, probably not. Actually, in all honesty,
no.
And
my lungs cringe thinking about it.
Well, and when I switched to rosin, I noticed like I started enjoying flower more. Like my thought is basically it's so high in just THC and not so much in everything else. It just kind of like mutes that for you for everything else. But you know, I started enjoying flower again, started enjoying rosin again, but like it fucks up my asthma pretty bad. So rosin was always just like an easier alternative for me.
Yeah.
So it really did become more of like a health thing. But then when I got into it, I started noticing making hash is basically just cooking, and I was a cook for a while, so it just came pretty quick and natural.
Yeah, kind of. Isn't that funny how you learn like cooking and sugar and oils and stuff like that, and then you start messing around with cannabis, and you're like, wait a minute, dog. This is sugar and oils, and that's really. I mean, it's really all you're doing.
Well,
I
most
mean,
hash makers enjoy cooking. So.
yeah.
So.
I mean, every hash maker I know, like knows quality food, eats quality food, and everything like that. Like I don't know one that's eating hot dogs.
I will admit,
Well,
like I do eat trash. Like
so
I'm,
This man
I don't know
eats,
if
like-
you've seen it, but
like
like
street
even
food.
7 years ago, they had a thing out said that like 2% of hot dogs have like human DNA in it and weird shit.
Do you,
Oh,
do you
no,
know
we
how much
talked about
shit I give
this.
this man about like how he eats?
Well,
I like street
I
food,
just
man.
changed my diet, so I don't know. Like I'm now I'm very militant about what other people eat. Sorry,
No,
I was eating nothing but trash, but now that I eat salads, you shouldn't. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I just saw that about hot dogs. That's just gross.
honestly, I was really strict about all that stuff for a really long time. And
Yeah,
I did like amateur powerlifting, amateur strongman. Had a
Dope.
lot of fun with it. Was real strict about my diet. I got 4 kids, and I work
Yeah.
my ass off pretty much every day. So I don't really have time to like focus on that. But I do love street food, and I love like experience over anything,
Just
which is
don't-
kind of the same way I look at hash.
you don't have to focus too much to not eat hot dogs, dog.
Yeah, that's not gonna stop him.
Not hot dogs. I just mean like trash food in general.
No, but he
I
like,
know. I have a problem. I'm on a diet, and then I find like the loaded taco Doritos. I'm like, wow. I mean, I gotta try them. It's a limited time.
this man
No,
eats Taco
absolutely. That's exactly what I mean.
It's a limited time. It's a limited offer.
It's going to go away.
They got me coming and going, but yeah, it's because I'm stoned all the time.
No, I see
They
that
know,
shit all the
They know
time.
their demographic, but yeah, definitely. Let's yeah, you and me, dog. Let's like practice a little restraint and shit.
Well. Yeah, maybe just a little bit, guys.
I'm gonna start tagging you in the food that I eat.
Oh, I have that with one friend, and it's like all the fine dining experiences that he sends me because he's just
no,
he's
it's not
living the
that
life
good.
now. I'm
I'm
just
not
like,
living
oh,
the
you
life
son of a
like
bitch.
that. I'm living the salad and go life.
That's how we all are right now.
Yeah. So awesome. Let's go ahead and we'll jump into the next segment, which is Trip Tales, all about. I have them weekly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you gotta focus, dog. You gotta have goals. All right, so Trip Tales is all about experience with psychedelics, if you have any, or also like when people haven't had any experiences. I feel like they have a lot of different questions and whatnot. And now that I've had a lot of experiences, I like to share that. And I have a couple people that already that hit Ryan talking take 2. Hit me up in the DMs.
It's that banana OG, man.
Yeah,
I'm
dog.
telling you.
Hit me up in the DMs and ask for guidance and whatnot. So, do you guys have any experience with like shrooms or acids? Or...
Absolutely.
All right. So,
Absolutely.
can you fill everybody in?
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody's got their own personal way of psychedelics. I don't do psychedelics outside of a ritualistic usage. So
Yeah.
my buddy has a cabin. He and I have been best friends for almost 30 years. We go up to his cabin once a quarter, once a year, kind of depends on everybody's schedule. That is the only place on earth that I will trip, but it's acid, shrooms, the whole 9.
Nice.
And it is, you step into another world for 24 straight hours. And we did, so his bachelor party, probably like the best experience I've ever had. Just, it's one of those like hallmark experiences in life in general. And I had taken 2 or 3 tabs of acid and like probably close to 7 grams of mushrooms. And I did it. So hero doses only 1.
Well,
2,
I mean, if you're doing
microdose.
it once, then macro it out.
I did do a microdose like the other day because somebody gave me a microdose. I'm not going to say who, but like it just threw off my whole day. It was not like
It's not. It's a weird kind of.
no.
It's not a real comfortable for me.
No.
Like I need to
I love
go.
microdoses.
Yeah,
I will say.
I macro everything.
Hero doses only. So I mean, I was pretty damn deep, but like I had the bear rug on like the whole 9, and I was like, I was in one with nature for 18 straight hours of just like, and you can, this place is special. Like it's on the New Mexico Arizona border.
Okay.
It's one of the highest points in Arizona, so the stars are like
Wow,
unbeatable.
that would be dope.
You see, like you're so close that you can actually see the satellites as they're like passing over.
That's crazy.
It's great. So what I would say personally is like if you're going to do it, you're less likely to have a bad trip if you're in nature.
For sure.
And make sure you're around good people that you are very, very trustworthy of.
Set and setting. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you don't know set and setting, please look that up. Was that McKenna? Terrence McKenna? Set and setting? Terrence, if you don't know Terrence McKenna and you're interested in psychedelics, please look up Terrence McKenna. It's like the Godfather. But how about you, Jack?
Yeah, no, I mean,
is a Banana OG setting in?
No, I think it's already got you guys.
It's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Pretty much it's my one day off, so I try to
start early.
Yeah. No, I like microdoses. I like macrodoses. Macrodoses are definitely about learning about yourself, whereas a microdose is more about just kind of like, I don't know, like if I got a day where I'm just going to clean and I'm hanging out around the house and stuff like that, I will just like take a microdose and get my shit done.
So yeah, I like that because
Jack has the best microdose story. Actually, it wasn't a microdose, but Jack has the best.
Well, okay. So by the way, when I say microdose, that's a gram or less. And depending on the strength of it, a 0.5 can still kind of like feel pretty good.
I feel that. When I was just laughing because I do the same thing, but I go 2 gel tabs deep and I'm like, all right, time to clean. And I put on like the psychedelic trance music and like I'm gone all day. So tell me about your supposed to be macro.
All right. Every once in a while in the daytime, especially when you have maybe minimal work, it's kind of fun to take a microdose, especially if it's pretty small. But specifically, this is a day I'm like cleaning water tanks. I'm like cleaning trays.
Okay.
Our work is like majorly just cleaning.
Yeah,
especially when we first started at the grow. Like I worked on the grow side. I wasn't just gonna stick to the lab. There was nothing to work on yet. Okay. So I worked in the grow. So anyways, cleaning out some water tanks and stuff like that. I took everything outside. So at this point, I was having a great time, listening to music, cleaning with a power washer, and a car pulls up at me and 2 gentlemen step out. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Because I'm in a great mood.
See, we already see how I react to everything. 2 guys pull out. I'm like,
just
what?
Wait.
Like, oh
just
no.
Wait.
I'm a pretty friendly guy. Like I'm a big dude, so like most people usually walk up to me pretty friendly. For the most part, people don't usually like go out their way.
My PTSD just jumps the gun. It's just like, all right, but
that's so. Anyways, they're like, "Hey, can we talk with you?" I'm like, "Absolutely," because I'm just, like I said, in my own little world.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they pull out their FBI badges.
Oh, sick, dog.
Yeah. Just totally killed.
What's up, dog?
I was just like,
oh shit. I ain't got one of them.
It's like, oh hey, what's up?
Start pulling out your wallet.
They started asking me questions about someone that I had no idea about, nothing that I'm like even slightly associated with. But they had no idea about the building. They were just trying to figure out what the building was that I was at. So it was just weird. It's kind of not something you want to have like happen like in the middle of everything.
Hey guys.
Oh hey.
Oh hey, we're the FBI. Can we ask you a question?
You're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And he calls me like 10 minutes after this, and he's clearly distraught.
Well, yeah,
I'm very high.
Okay. So I was.
That's exactly it right there.
I was watching the driveway, and these guys. Yeah. Oh man, that's man. I feel for you, Doc. That's fucking weird. That's a really weird microdose story.
I've been very fortunate for the most part.
Bro, were they listening to me wash the?
Yeah. No, that's all you could think is like definitely someone knows.
Yeah. And I watch too much conspiracy theory shit to be like, oh fuck, now they're in my shit. Oh, man, that'd have been rough. I feel for you. I'm glad you made it through it. I hope to never have an experience like that in my life.
That's
No.
why I don't microdose in the city or macrodose in the city.
Yeah, like here's my thing. Every once in a while I do my thing and like if I ever have an issue or something, like we're talking about outdoors with psychedelics and stuff, a lot of times if I go outdoors and stuff, uh, it's just like all of a sudden all that fear and stuff from the outdoors is gone. You're like, oh yeah, look at this shit. Like I love this shit. I forgot nature, but like like sometimes you'd be inside and just be like, oh my god, there's demons and stuff out there, and that's the kind of stuff when you're doing psychedelics, you need to like have maybe someone around, um, help babysit or something. Sometimes if you're gonna go a little heavy because you kind of like will paint yourself into a corner sometimes.
You can.
But you
definitely
need to
can.
be careful. And if you ever if you're ever doing any of that and you need to talk to somebody, just hit me up. My DMs and all that kind of stuff are open. I'll help guide you. But
I
how do you
actually like
handle that?
I actually like scary movies.
Yeah,
I like
the-
weird, trippy sci-fi stuff when I do mushrooms. Like I don't know if you ever seen was it Love, Death, and Robots?
Yes, I watched all that.
It's like a 30-minute like movie, so you end up like thinking you're in that world, and then it goes to the next one and the next one.
Yeah. Basically, like it's like like another Black Mirror.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. And that's another thing because I saw somebody at the dispo the other day, yesterday, and she's like, I don't really like doing shrooms because they make me angry. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever had this, but like when you're doing shrooms and you kind of get that feeling in your stomach and it's kind of like, and then all of a sudden you'll be like laughing and you just say some like really mean shit like out of nowhere. I don't know if anybody's had it before, but I've seen friends do it and stuff, and they'll just be like, fuck, not even to anybody. They'll just be like, fucking bullshit, and I hate it. Like, I think what is
It's your
happening,
anxiety.
yeah, is the anxiety, but also it's because of that chitin that's in, like I keep talking to people about it, that's the fiber that's hard for your body to process, and I think your body is fighting it the whole time. And the people that get a lot afraid of tripping, I think that's part of it. Your anxiety, your body knowing that it's basically poison that you've eaten and stuff like that. So
I love that feeling. As soon as my stomach starts to
I
like
hate it.
I hate it because I hate throwing up, and I know like, okay, like
It's
my stomach
coming.
like 5 minutes out, like just be ready. That's why I stopped eating them in general, and I started drinking teas, and I don't
And if you had
throw
ginger
up anymore.
too, a lot of ginger too, that helps the stomach. That I learned now.
Blend it into a smoothie.
Be
Or that.
careful with that too, because cold extract, right, is probably, I've learned through science, is the best way to get them to come out. And you're also working with milk and stuff like that. If there's any like the probiotics and stuff like that, if you ever have like yogurt and stuff in there, yogurt and with the probiotics and everything will pull out about 90% of that psilocybin or and stuff. Whereas teas are close to like 40 to 60%, stuff like that. But cold extract, especially with probiotics and everything, really with the bacteria, really unlock that stuff and pull it out. And I've had
Damn.
where a 3.5 that I've had in a smoothie make it feel like 7 grams. And I was like, oh, and I literally laid in my bed because it was one of those. I don't ever call them like bad trips. I call them challenging trips, because once you get out of it, just like a scary movie, you weathered the storm and you're like, okay, well, I'm either not doing that shit again or whatever, like it showed you that about you that wasn't good. You're like, well, now I got to focus on fixing that. So it's never really a bad thing,
Yep.
but I put myself in a bad one. And I just had to lay in the bed and go, nope, this is just, also, it's just drugs and stuff. It'll wear off. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got really good at talking to myself, like through a lot of that kind of stuff. Also, different mushrooms have different feelings to them. I think that's one thing that people don't always take into account, because I've definitely had some that make me feel almost more like a drunk, kind of high to it,
Okay.
disoriented a little bit more, and then versus other ones that are more like seem emotional,
Mm-hmm.
which I actually prefer just because the highs are really high on those ones, but those are usually the ones that are pretty introspective.
What I've had a lot lately are the or in the most recent, allegedly, are the apes, albino penis envy ones and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just got like I wanted to find like I wish we could go ahead and just like legalize this like they had in like Amsterdam, and we can go to a store and pick between the strains and whatnot, and even buy like fresh ones because that's a different high altogether.
Yep.
Freeze-dried ones also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit packed in honey and I mean like all sorts of different things. But shit, the fucking banana OG. Goddamn. I wish like because the apes and stuff that I've had and stuff are just so strong, and it's a certain type of high. Like it's just like I feel like for that it's like with cannabis is like it's like a heavy. Not saying that for me it's like a heavy sativa for some people. Like it's just too fucking much. And I wish I could. I found some stuff lately, and I'm gonna have to try them here allegedly. Over the next like couple weeks, I have some tidal waves, which are B plus, and the apes together.
Nice.
So I wanted to see how that works and stuff like that. But yeah, I wish like we could find the strains that kind of work for us. But I guess that'll happen over time with decriminalization and whatnot.
I mean, it works the same way with cannabis. Everyone's got their own reaction.
But another thing that's helped out, I don't know if anybody's ever tried it, is the ketamine and stuff. If you guys are interested in finding that out about that, hit me up. There's places you can Google and stuff. It's better that you have it through some sort of care. But
I've heard about it, and I've heard of like ketamine clinics blowing up and stuff like that, but I've never actually.
Well, and you got to be careful because there's some of them that will actually just send you ketamine.
Jesus.
And you can do it yourself. I mean, look, it's all expensive and it's through a doctor. But
Fucking wild.
But yeah,
That is
but
wild.
I do strongly suggest if you're serious about it. I'm not telling people just go out do drugs, but like if you're serious about getting some help, and like it literally changed me from this really aggro reactive kind of person from before to this person that you see right now. That's just like all I care about is loving and helping people and stuff. So make sure you go to the ones that actually have like doctors and that will be in the room with you and shit like that. So take care of yourselves like that.
No, I mean, it's not a personal friend of mine, but a friend of my wife's. I know she's done that therapy before and apparently worked wonders for her.
It really does, and it's for some people, and I've talked to some other people, and they've tried it and whatnot, and it's not for them. It's really for those that are like really like in front, like their personalities kind of taking over, and they're not really being able to be that person that they used to be. It's hard to kind of explain that. But if you're already kind of in the background in your personality already, and you need something to like push you forward, this is not for you. Because it's something that like my demon that I used to have to create to like protect my ego and all sorts of other stuff in front of me. Like I could never let that go. That's what I got to do. Like the ketamine actually put that demon back here, and I could look at him and go, "Hey, it's all right. I don't need you anymore. Like we don't need to be scary anymore. We can just be the happy Ryan and stuff like that." I appreciate in the army that kind of person was there for me to like protect me from all that kind of stuff. But eventually you grow, and you got to change that shit. So
for sure,
that's the ketamine. That's what ketamine did for me. It put those bad feelings and that trauma away, so I could actually deal with it and talk about it. So if that's something that you're looking for, the guy real serious real quick. If that's something you're looking for, I mean, honestly, go Google it out and find the clinics and whatnot. But it is a great thing. So we're going to go ahead and go into break, and then we'll come back with like mental health is wealth, which is part of what we were talking about.
I think every human needs to trip.
Yeah.
In general.
It's like when real quick about we want the whole world to smoke a joint and stuff like that, and now the whole world is kind of doing that, and we're all kind of pissed at the people that we don't like smoking the joints. Like, you guys need to chill. like I've just gone over this. This is something that hit me with psychedelics lately. I'm like, yo, we were all like, I wish the whole world would smoke a joint, but now like the like some of the like real stoners are like mad at the ladies that are like more like Barbie that are smoking, or the more like business class that's smoking and stuff. Like why are you like you wanted this?
Oh, we went from like smoking. We went from pro cannabis to like versus anti cannabis to like you're Chad cannabis, you're Brad cannabis, you're OG cannabis. Like
I'm guilty of calling people Chads and stuff like that. I've probably been a Chad in some people's eyes. I don't know what the fuck it means anymore.
What does it mean? It for me now, it's just like a jealous inference of like people hating on other people because they can't do something, won't do something, didn't do something. Like these are all choices you can make at the end of the day.
You're sitting on your hands yelling about shit that you could be doing yourself if you get off your fucking hands. All right, and we're going to break. We're not going in a little bit. You got your break. We're going as soon as I get it going.
Oh. How's that banana OG treating you?
Bro, I'm fucking.
We got him.
What'd you think of the taste?
Good, I like it.
Yeah.
Fucking, good, like smooth and kind of creamy, but also like gassy on the back end. I really like the gas too.
No, it's
let you know like, hey,
it's very.
Oh, are we back? Yeah. Oh shit! If you could go ahead and hit mental health as well. What is PTD?
Let me see. Oh, that's Hibiscus Dreams.
Hibiscus. Oh, it's an H.
Yeah.
I was like PhD.
So we'll just leave it at it's PhD.
Okay. All right.
No, it's prenup times Blue Stomper times
Lucid
Dream.
Yep. Max.
So we had to come up with a name for it.
Oh.
Prenup Lucid Dream by Blue Max Stomper is kind of a mouthful.
Prenup Stomper.
Yeah.
We named it Hibiscus Dreams. We're talking about switching it to
Divorce Court was the other name. That shit is hilarious. Oh, I've been there. Shout out you. Yeah, you don't. I don't. If you're watching this, that's hilarious. You missed out. So mental health as well.
Damn right.
Right. I wish you the best though. So what I like to talk about, like I don't know if everybody knows I'm an open book. I had a mental breakdown, like a nervous breakdown. I believe it was like around January, February and stuff. I was having trouble with my life and everything, and I was seeking help and with drugs and stuff. Like Theo Vaughn has said when he was asked what his favorite weed back in the day was, he's like, my favorite weed back in the day, favorite weed was cocaine. And we don't do that shit no more. But I went off on horrible time. I'd gotten out of a relationship like a year ago, and I was just burying myself in shit and everything. And eventually that shit spins you out. And then I tried some other shit. And I got all spun out and everything. But I found my way back. And I've gone to therapy and doing all this other stuff. So, shout out to my therapist. I'll see you Wednesday. But do you guys deal with any of that kind of stuff? I mean, I know everyone has their times and stuff. Not everyone agrees with therapy. I mean, I don't know why, but I'd like to hear you guys' opinion on it.
I think it's all necessary. I mean, I don't dabble in my vices is business itself. Like I work, I go to the gym, I go home, I sleep, I get up, I go to the gym, I work, I go to the gym. Like,
yeah,
my life is so structured and rigid right now that it's kind of hard to like go outside of the line, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regards, my own personal crutch is like the work, the gym, like the things that keep me structured.
I don't think those are crutches. I think those are tools.
They're tools, but I mean they can be when you, again, moderation. Like everything in moderation. I just, I've done all the other stuff. Like smoked my face off for years. Like
Yeah.
right now it's like one thing and one thing only. It's like, that's it. Period. The end.
Yeah, and it's different for everybody, and we even go through different seasons in our lives that we need different things because, like at times when our body's out of whack, you need to do something with your mind, and when your mind's out of whack, you got to do something with your body. So you know what I mean? Just like fucking mix it up.
And I tell everybody, like, if there's any shit you're going through, whether it's depression, anxiety, whatever it be, the best medicine is like to move. Go to the gym, go run, go climb, go hike, go bike, go something.
Yeah, because as much as we all like smoking weed and getting high, your body actually releases drugs, dog. Like you will get high working out. Go get high, dog. I mean, I'm going to the gym and stuff now. Like I get high after that shit. I mean, obviously I do also have like a pre-workout and get the fuck out of my way when I'm on my pre-workout and going. But yeah, no, like after that feeling, man, ain't nothing better.
Yeah, when you're leaving the gym and you've crossed everything off the list that you needed to do today, and you feel like yeah, there's nothing that's gonna beat that. So at the end of the day, like that has kind of turned into like the ultimate drug of choice.
Nice
for me personally.
Be careful, also. Stay natty, not juicy.
Yeah.
Everyone. I'm just kidding because there's I was talking about testosterone therapy and stuff like that, and that's out there. And I'm even looking like into it with my doctors and stuff. They're running with the VA and stuff. We're running stuff on me. So
I did a cycle like
I was just kidding.
Ago. But I'll tell people straight up, like
if they start me on, I'll talk about it too.
It's cool because like when you're on it, it works.
Yeah.
It's like taking Superman and putting it in a bottle and like shoving it in your veins. But once you're off of it, like you're back to normal.
Right.
And so what I would tell everybody is like figure out how to turn yourself into Superman without necessarily having to take steroids. You can do it naturally. There are natural ways to boost your testosterone, whether it's pharmaceuticals, whether it's food, whether it's sleep. Like there's a lot of things people don't do right.
They're even going outside of steroids now, talking about like peptides
and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But yet you can't get 8 hours of sleep. Like go figure out how to get 7.5, 8 hours of sleep every night, and then figure out what peptide you're going to take or what you're going to inject yourself with.
Yeah, because if you're not recovering, you're hurting yourself constantly.
The basics.
My coach back in the day had always said, like, if I didn't hit a lift and I was trying to hit a certain number, like I would hit him up and be like, yo, it didn't happen, don't know what's going on. He'd be like, all right, eat more, sleep more, come back to it again next week. I would, and always just, would able to hit it. And a lot of time it's just not focusing on your sleep and your eating.
It's the sleep for sure. That's crucial. I mean, food, your diet also. Yeah.
And that's where like I had clients all the time that would ask me like, oh, what supplements or what do I need to take? I'm like, doesn't fucking matter if you don't actually have a decent diet.
Macros.
Well, and
here's the crazy
thing.
All day.
Macros.
I was watching something today about the fact that like your sleep affects your insulin levels. So just by not sleeping, you now are not intaking protein right. You're not intaking food right, because whatever you eat now is going to have a different insulin sensitivity if you do sleep right versus if you don't. So like you do one of these little things wrong and it's a cascading effect, and people just need to figure out the basics.
Yeah.
Well, and back to the whole steroid thing real quick. Like I've worked in a lot of gyms over strongman and power lifters and stuff. Like it's obviously rampant and stuff like that. Yep. I get clients that would ask me all the time, like, what are your 2 cents on it? Honestly, it comes down to quality of life. At a certain point, like when you're a certain age, for sure, I'd probably be taking something at some point. Just because like quality of life matters so much as you get older. And do you want to be that 70-year-old that's, bed rest, or do you want to be that guy that's like still having fun, still doing shit?
We know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, and if you don't start earlier, like you are going to be dependent. I will say, like, I know 70-year-old men right now that are dependent on taking, test therapy or taking something. And then there are 70-year-old men that have been like not world class athletes, but they've worked out their entire life. And you can tell the difference between the two, but it's like they both have a great quality of life. And so, yeah, I just think, the faster that you can get in the gym and figure out how to get the good endorphins, the earlier on in life, the more you can do that, the more consistent you can be. Like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's all about dedication to the task at hand. God, Banana OG. So if you guys can, try the Banana OG.
I'm a big fan of that one. I mean,
you came in to rectify. You came in like a wrecking ball. Sorry.
no, it's
An
the
anxiety
Banana OG
attack.
is a great one. It hits really strong. It's a phenomenal strain. Looks great, as well as a fresh pressed, as well as a cold cure. Still trying to dial in the harvest date on that one, which is something that we, focus heavily on. So
Nice. So we'll go ahead and jump into our last segment, which is all about plug talk, which is promoing all the things that we have going on.
Hell yeah.
And we'll talk about these things right here. Go ahead and. People like it, but like, if you ever see, I'm constantly loving those little clips, but eventually one day we'll get them looking better though. All right, so plug talk. We're all about the promo and stuff. We did bring up these things right here, but I'll let you talk about what you want to talk about.
I'm gonna let Jack word vomit because this is his favorite part.
Yay!
no, I mean, if you guys don't know any of our products, we grow all living soil, organic, heavy focus on terpenes over everything. Most of our flower tests extremely high in itself, like 3% higher.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, no, which we're gonna be releasing flower here shortly. But it all comes down to the grow, like as a hash maker and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I think most hash makers really make it kind of about themselves and stuff like that. But honestly, like it comes down to the flower. If you don't have good flower, you don't have good rosin. It doesn't matter.
True.
You can make something look good, but doesn't mean it'll taste any good. So no, we focus heavily on terpenes over everything. We also have a variety of stuff that we threw in there. We have 8 really solid strains to start off with, 2 that are going straight to flower. They just weren't yielding the way we wanted it to, but they work phenomenal as flower. And then we have an additional 6 that are all going straight to rosin. But then we have 55 strains that we've been hunting through. I've been doing a lot of the test washes, just trying to
You're throwing
fast
so
track.
many numbers at me, like Banana OG dog. I'm gonna I need to make this part of a clip because like that guy that's just like with the numbers and shit. I'm just like, dog, what? Like I love, like I'm glad that you guys have a lot coming, but slow that down. Replay it is like 6 strains just for the rosin. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and then we got 55 that we're doing pheno hunts on, and
Nice.
there's some like obvious winners that we're going straight for, and I'm trying to figure out if they're viable options for just like running them in the rooms. But then that's the other thing is sometimes a strain doesn't translate to hash, doesn't translate to the
I've seen
rosin,
that.
and then you taste it and it tastes completely different. We have one that yielded 5%. I was not excited for though, just because the taste wasn't on, like it didn't smell all that great as hash, didn't smell great as rosin. But then as soon as I smoked it, it like it's dead on. It's was it pancakes times
That was
sour
Ellen
apple?
Kush cake, right? Or was that?
No, it's I didn't even like. It's funny because like you gotta try stuff as a hash maker to figure out if something's even worth like putting out there. And so this is a pancakes times sour apple, and dead on tastes like pancakes, and it has a sour and a apple flavor to it. Yields 5%. It's phenomenal.
I love sour apples.
So do you know what's funny? This goes back to like distillate days. I've been searching for something that tastes like candy apple. So we actually have another strain too called Apple and Later that we're hunting. Really hoping we get some like candy apple terps in that.
So I'm very fruit forward. So you're speaking.
Dude, you're gonna love our shit then.
Yeah, you'll love it.
You're speaking my language, Doug.
That's kind of what we are. Is like we're very
try to have variety.
Yeah,
try to have variety because like
I
even the other day we found one that's like a phenomenal raspberry terp, which to me raspberry terps are basically one off from tangy terps. Not a fan of it myself. But that being said,
it's hard to nail that too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because I've had a couple raspberry, and it's like I'm like, this tastes like dirt.
No, so this one tastes phenomenal as a raspberry. It's a great
with what you guys
representation.
have already tried. I believe you.
Yeah,
our stuff is like full body, full flavor, and like they may be tangy haters. I'm not.
I love tangy.
A lot of our stuff is like 2 degrees of separation from like a full tangy. Like, but we have stuff that there's like a strawberry milkshake. There's the apple. You're talking about the Applicious.
Yep.
Yeah. There's Hello
hell?
there.
Whoa.
Hello there.
Hey, what's up, dog?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that like, but again, the reason why I think we make the best stuff is that our entire team is so focused on like every little detail, every damn detail,
Yeah.
down to the flavor, down to the smoke. How does it smoke in a pen,
Love that.
as a fresh press, as flower? Like, I think that's one thing that we do better than 99% is that when it comes to the small details that matter, like we hone in on those and we focus on
Well,
those.
when we grow for rosin, it's not like a second thought. It wasn't like, oh, hey, this didn't do great as flower. Why don't you guys wash it?
Yeah.
Which honestly, like, I think there's a lot of phenomenal hash makers in Arizona. I think a lot of people are kind of held with their hands behind their back just because of the product that they have to work with.
Yep.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, and a lot of the hash makers have to go around and the really good ones will go through and have to pick what they want to use, and it's rough because I've even seen where they pick out what they wanted and everything, and then they go to wash it and the yield is shit.
Or
And they thought it was great, and it's not really too much of their fault. It's just what
Yep.
happens,
growing for rosin, growing for hash, it's completely different. We don't look at bag appeal. We don't care what it looks like. It just matters what it smells like, what it tastes like.
That makes sense.
Yields matter, obviously, but we're able to, if something doesn't yield phenomenal, we can always fix it by finding a couple that do.
Sick.
So
you do have the are these sealed or
Yeah, so you just all you got to do is pinch it.
Squeeze
so
them,
right where it says
or
the pinch, you
slide.
literally pinch that side to side.
Got
Yeah.
it.
It's
I was a bud tender and I've dealt with all this shit for a long time. I had to teach people like when we first when like rec or came and everything, and
Yep.
I had to like show people like you put your hands like this on the bag and you like that. Like you don't have to be strong or all, because we dealt with a lot of like elderly people too, and they're like, I can't open this. Like, well, you're not just boom like
Yep.
that. Yeah.
By the way, anyone that's ever worked with our jars before, if they're really hard to get open the first time, that's
Oh.
my bad. That is my fault.
He's got whole
because
cans.
I squeeze everything. I'm always obsessed with like just not letting it.
Oh, also I want like, do you guys have the seal, the white little like I don't know if that's styrofoam or something that goes on top of the jars, or for the flour and whatnot?
You're talking about like a flavor seal?
Yeah, whatever. Like a couple brands have.
There's a couple. I know what you're talking about. No, we haven't released our flour yet. We're probably gonna be doing it in bulk, to be honest, at start.
Okay.
But we do wanna. We have a couple ideas of things that we're gonna do for like a high end product. Which
there
I
will
think
be
we're gonna use.
pre-packed flour
Yeah.
Because I just was trying to like educate people on how to reseal it. So you have those little like white discs.
Mhm.
You just put that thing right back on top and take your lid and flip it over and like rub it into there or whatever, and that heat will like reseal that stuff, and you just put it back
no
on
shit.
it, flip your cap, lock it back down. I'll throw a video on the story later or something.
Oh yeah.
I do it a lot with like my Connected and Alien Labs. I mean, it's money well spent, so I'm gonna take care of it.
We're gonna be buying some pretty nice jarring that like will be all glass on glass, like like blacked out jars, like to the nines, the way it should be.
Yeah, because like that's why your beer bottles are. I don't want to promote drinking, but that's why like beer bottles and stuff are like brown and whatnot. Is, if you didn't know, is to stop the UV lights from coming in, because light destroys shit.
Well, we use black jars on our rosin, and we also do like really clear fresh press, which unfortunately makes it so you can't really see it. That wasn't like a choice. It just happened to be that the best jars for protecting our rosin are Myron.
Yeah.
And they've done some like little studies recently, and we like doing fresh press. So
it's also like the greatest marketing technique ever when we walk into a dispensary and I like hand somebody, or Jack hands them like the 1 gram fresh press, and I just sit back and I'll literally tell them to their face, like, I'm just gonna see your face when you open this, and like they open it and they're like
there's nothing in there.
Yeah,
they all do a double triple take and they're all like, holy shit, like we can't even see anything.
We are going to switch to white jars though.
Okay. Yeah,
just
but
to make it look better. So I mean,
so you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
You don't.
We'll keep the black ones for cold cures.
But yeah, like, I don't know if y'all can see this. This shit's clean. I mean, I can't hit it right now, but I hit one earlier, and it's good.
That was a garlic mince that you hit before, and yeah, if you even hold them up to your nose, you can smell it.
garlic mint. Oh, I thought I was hitting all banana. I'm fine, man. I'm high as shit.
You got. Jack got you.
Yeah, he can't. He didn't. Not
So
even.
I was ready to
Not
smoke.
even. Not, yeah, no, I
I
love
didn't know
it.
how these things
No,
went.
I mean, I can't. Like I said, I came in with. I took like almost a quarter gram dab of some Drago of Strat Out Hash Paddler from Sticky Saguaro.
I messaged you
on the
last
way.
night being like, yo, can I bring my rig?
Yeah, do it. And I just like, yeah, I'll hit it because that's kind of guy I am.
That's what
It's
you
like,
got to do.
yeah.
I was sitting in there on the car on the phone, like hitting my pen, and I'm like, as soon as you guys all walk by, I'm like, fuck. Yep.
It's also
It's
not the
yeah.
worst like thing though when I go out doing sales. Like I'll hit the pen and sometimes I get a little too high, and they'll look at me and they'll notice, and I'm like, sorry, I just ripped this pen. They're like, oh, that's pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Buy it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, personified. Let me see here. All right. Well, that's my phone's going off. Thank you. Like on silent. But just gonna go over a couple things that I have going on. We do have we got some seeds and stuff from Seed Sit. Ryan talking. Take two again. 3, 4, 5. Sin City Seeds. This is something that I got from them, and we do have some seeds. This is a Camelback water bottle, and the thing's amazing. I just need to be drinking more of it. And this is also Sin City Style. If you want to go check it out, they're on Instagram as Sin City Style, Sin City Seeds. But we do have some strains and stuff. One that I named, or we all named in the valley like 2 years ago. It's their GMO times Blue Power, which is nuclear power. So the valley named that. I'm gonna end up growing that with some buddies, and then we have one more. I'm just gonna announce it because fuck it. Is Atlantis.
Nice.
So it's forbidden fruit times Blue Power.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and bring that to the valley as well. We may see if we can do it, or we may go with some other people to grow it out for us. We'll see, because I want to be able to produce it, and I want the valley to be able to try it and whatnot. So we'll
Call your boys.
yeah,
Call your boys.
man, yeah, we can even do that, and then maybe we'll get our own clones from, and then we can grow our own. Yeah, we'll work something out. I have some ideas. Now that we're talking about that, and then so coming up right after this, we do have Tico Bio Supply. Again with the organics and stuff like that. We're trying to like help show everybody what it's like to not have so much shit in your body.
Well, and hopefully we can get you guys out and we can do some more organic talks.
Also, yeah. Also, I forgot. We're gonna come out maybe tomorrow and stuff. Go through the grow. I need to get the new phone together and stuff so I can record properly. Not that this phone isn't that great, but maybe tomorrow we'll go through the grow and shit like that, and we'll talk more about all the other stuff too. But yeah, be ready for that, because I'll try to shoot some stuff and come up with a pretty cool video and stuff, and some cool cuts and so on and so forth. And then next week we'll have, as long as everyone can make it, I know first guest is locked in, is Gas Pump Farms, and then second one is Tree Junkie. Just need to check up with them. But a lot of cool things coming on the horizon. Thank you guys very much for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate you. And we'll have you on back again once you got the flowers coming out and stuff like that, and in the new year, and we'll follow up with you. Other than that, be good, be clean. As always, be safe. Tap in, smoke up, trip out. Deuces.
Jack,